Hey YouTube, it's Jay. So it's Sunday, and you know what that means. If you've been with me for a while, every Sunday it's straight pool Sunday. I've missed a couple of them with sickness and things like that, but I try to play straight pool every Sunday. It's a good way to measure my progress as I'm trying to get back into the game, trying to get back to where I was. So before we start, I'm not going to say a whole lot. I do want to remind you, hit like, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell so you can see these when they come out. I don't see a lot of original straight pool content up other than like the Derby City Classic stuff that gets shown. I do want to take a minute and say, you'll notice the shirt that I'm wearing is for the Green Beret Foundation. A good friend of mine got injured in Afghanistan very seriously. And Green Beret Foundation was one of the charities, the military themed charities, that was right there to help him. Whatever he needed, he had. They flew his wife and his daughter up to be with him. Just an incredible charity. They have a very fiscally responsible charity, or they are a very fiscally responsible charity. The last time I looked, they were hovering around 90% of the donations actually made it all the way to the soldier or their family. And they do take care of the families of Green Berets who are killed in action as well. To be clear, I'm not a Green Beret. I have no personal benefit in telling you about the charity, except that they have taken care of more than one friend of mine who has been injured overseas. And they take care of people that are injured in training too. So anyhow, the Green Beret Foundation, www.greenberetfoundation.org, they are a phenomenal charity. And if you feel generous, by all means, they can certainly use the donations. There are plenty of people out there in the world that are getting injured in various places that are eligible for help from the charity. All right, so with that said, just a quick reminder, my high run from a break shot since I returned to the game is 19. My high run all time, including back when I was playing on tour, is 134 against Pat Howie in would have been about 2002, 2003 at CM's place in Seminole, Florida. Rest in peace, Pat. He passed away from cancer. Great guy, always willing to help, always smiling, always just a great guy. Anyhow, 19 is the number to beat currently. Of course, 134 is the number that I eventually want to beat. I did get a 25 from an open table, meaning that the rack had already been broken, all the break shots had been done, so I was starting in the middle of a wide open rack. That's great and all, but my high run from the break while practicing since I came back to the game is 19. So here we go, let's play some pool. All right, so here we go, first rack of the day. Now, I've been using this bottom inside break. A lot of the guys on the Derby City Classic are using that, so I decided I'd try it out. I like that break. So here, my first goal is to get everything broken out. I want to get rid of all my problem balls first. Now I'm down to just the 12 and the 9 as problem ball. I hit this just a hair harder than I wanted to, but I still think I'm going to hit the 12 fairly full. I do nip it and I get lucky. It's just enough not to fall in the side. All right, so now all the problem balls are gone. Now you're going to see me playing this out in a second. The 12 is still kind of a problem ball, but it's also a break shot. And so I'm going to leave it there, and I don't know what happened. My English, it just died on me here, left me up against the 8. But I do still have those 2 balls down table, so I'll go ahead and use those to get out of trouble here. Okay, so good bump on the 4. That was actually a planned bump. Alright, so now I'm figuring out what I'm going to do, and I kind of think that the pattern is make the 4 come up, make the 13, shoot the 3 in the side, shoot the 15 in the corner, shoot the 8 in the side on the right, and roll forward to use the 12 as a break. That's what I'm kind of coming up with here. And it seems like a pretty straightforward pattern. The 12 is a little bit far away from the rack. If I get too straight on it, I'm not going to be able to hit the rack. So I kind of don't like it. I've got to use the 8 and roll forward to the rail and shoot off the rail and cut the 12 backwards into the corner to get the rack, to get the break. But right now it's the best break shot on the table, I think. Alright, so this plays out pretty well. The only thing I don't like about it is the 8 is kind of the obvious shot here, but the 8's my key ball, and I need it to set up the 12. So now I'm looking at maybe the 13's a break. And the 13 might actually be a better break than the 12, depending on the angle I get on the 12. So I'm kind of up in the air at this point. I kind of want the 12, I kind of want the 13, and I decide to play for the 12, and then I'll see where I come out. And as you can see, I mean, I either have to take my cue ball, or I've got to take the 12 that I would use as a break. So now I'm going to switch, and I'm going to use the 13 as my break, with the 3 as my key ball. Make the 12, no problem. Get good on the 8. So now, I don't want to be straight in on that 13. I want to be out where the 3 is. So I'm going to shoot the 8, and I'm going to try to leave the cue where I can either come off the rail and back out to where the 3 is, or I'll want to be in a position to stop. And I'd prefer to stop it. That's the choice here. But man, I just hit that 8 so bad. So, really good break here. Ball went in the side too. I've been making the corner of the rack and the side. So that breakout takes away most of my problems. It does make a problem with the 10 though. Now I do want to get the 15 out of there, but other than the 15, there's really not a problem here, other than that 10 which I just broke out. Okay, so I have break shots here. I've got the 9 or the 10 as a break shot. I think the 9 is a better break shot. I'd like to see it a little closer to the rack. So since I've got the 10, I'm going to go ahead and try and move that 9 into a better breaking position. And that works out just perfect. That's exactly where I wanted that. Okay, so now the only problem that I have to worry about is that 3 ball. I've got to get hit in the bottom right pocket, which means I have to leave the cue ball over on that left side about where my cue is. So I try to get up for it, and I don't get there. Now moving that 11 is a good idea here. Other than that, this table's wide open. Yeah, moving the 11 is a good idea here. So is cutting the 15 in, since you're so close to it. So I decided to move the 11. Now I've got these 2 balls up here. I could take them now, or I could take them later. Potentially that 7 could be a key ball, but I don't think I want it as a key ball. So I go ahead and take it. And you could hear me cuss if I left the sound on. So I make the 14. Now I'm going to take care of this side of the table over here. Now I still need to get on that 3, but with the 15 where it is, I can basically hold the cue ball up for the 15 and then bounce off. And so that's what I do. I just go ahead and drop over there for the 15. Now I'm going to try to hit this really, really soft to leave myself the 3. In fact, I even slide it. Now I've got a problem. So now I have completely changed my mind.
I'm going to use the 10 as the break, I'm going to use the 2 as the key ball, and I'm going to cut this 3 in right now. And I know the 9's going to push forward, so I'm going to roll through it. But I missed the 3 and I would have had to bank the 9 anyhow. Alright, next track. Again, you can see that 5 rolls in the side. I think I made one of these, I made both the corner and the side. Was this one? No, it wasn't this one. Okay, so I've got a bunch of work to do here. There's a little cluster in the middle there. I've got a bunch of blocking balls, so I take out the center ball that's a blocking ball. I'd like to roll down off of this 2 and get a straight in shot on that 9 so I can get it out of there. But yeah, I hit it a little flat, so now I've got the combination. Not a big deal, this is not a tough combination. Just have to be careful and make sure I stroke straight. And I do. Now I've got the 6 ball up here to get me out of trouble. That 11 does go, but I need to be on the other side. I need to be on the where my cue was, I need to be down towards the bottom of the table. So I'm going to roll up for the 7. And I get dead straight in. So I use a technique, this is in one of the shot tips I did a while back, which is to shoot the 7 straight in, but use masse to make the cue ball hop off of it and go up table. So even though I was straight in, you saw I was able to create a pretty big angle there. Alright, well, I nipped the 13. I was hoping to run into those a little bit better than that, but nipping the 13 also opened up the 11 a little bit. Now, I don't really have a great break shot here. The 15's decent. I'm going to take the 9. I'm trying to avoid shooting the 15. I've been shooting my break shot in earlier weeks, and that was a bad thing, shooting the shot early. So I get the 11, I get a little bit of a breakout, which is good. Now I need to roll the 3 in, and I need to break up this 10, 13 that are tied up. They're not lined up on anything, so they need to be broken. So I do. So I want to use the 8, then I want to shoot the 13 in, and then I want to shoot the 10 in the side and use it to leave my, the 15. So I'm at a little bit of an awkward angle. I'm kind of, sort of on the wrong side of the 13. I'm not really, but I'm kind of. So I'm going to roll down to the end rail and back up. And I don't roll up far enough. I've got a pretty sharp angle on this 10 compared to what I want, so I'm just going to try to slow roll it in the side. And I leave pretty much a textbook break shot. I'm a little further than I'd like to be, but it's pretty much a textbook break shot. Alright, I'm going to speed up racking. No reason for you to have to sit there and watch me rack. The only reason I'm showing the racking at all is so that you know that this is a continuous run. Alright, a little bit of measuring the angle, seeing where I'm going to hit on the ball so I can see whether I should draw this or follow it. It looks like I should draw this. Just looking at it here on the video and in hindsight, it looks like I should draw this. And that's what I'm lining up for, so good. So I draw it, I get a nice break. That's a good break for this. The 14-2 is dead in the side, and it's pretty much the best shot I have here. I could cut the 8 in, or the 4, but the 14-2 is wired, so I decided to use that to try to break things up a little bit more. And you can see that worked out pretty well. Kind of hidden here from just about everything. I can cut the 7 or I can cut the 10. The 10's obviously an easier shot, but I do have to use a bridge to do it. Not a big deal. I don't mind the bridge. I shoot just as well with the bridge as I do with my hands. So I say that and then I miss the 10, but normally I do. Okay, next rack. That was a 16. That's pretty decent. Not great, but decent for now. Here's that break again. Okay, so this is the one where I sink 3 balls. Nope, I sink 2, the 12 hangs. Which is a good thing because I'm kind of in a weird position. The balls are all wide open, but I really don't have a good shot on anything except the 12 or the 11. And I'm just going to use the 12 to get myself down towards the bottom of the rack. Okay, moving that 7 was a great thing. It was actually blocking 14 from doing anything. Right now, I've got the 5 as a break shot, the 15 is my key ball. Now, I could use the 6 as a key ball. There are a lot of key balls here, but right now, the 15 is my key. Woo, I hit that just hard enough. That one almost didn't make it. Alright, let's finish clearing out the bottom of the table, and then we'll work our way back up to the top. Then we'll come down to the final pattern. I do not want to bump that 5, so I hit that kind of smooth, kind of easy. I've got the 14, I've got the 4. I'm in good shape there. I want to keep the cue ball out. I don't want to go under the rack again. So I get a little tight. The 15 is the shot here, so that makes the 6 my key ball, which means that I'm going to shoot the 15. I'm going to clear out the bottom of the rack, and then I'm going to go up to the top. Shoot the 11, use the 6 as my key ball, and we should be off and running. So the 13 is actually a problem ball here, by the way. It is blocking the 4 from going in the most obvious pocket. So I don't know if I agree with myself here. I don't know that I should have taken that shot, but I did. I left the 6. I didn't mess up my key ball, but I think maybe the angle that I had was just a little bit weird. So now I have to shoot into this window between the 4 and the 13, but I can shoot the 2. If I don't bump the 5, then I can put the 4 in the 13 in the corner, then the 4, and then finish up with the 6. There's 14. I leave the 4 just fine. I do have to look at this, and I'm going to end up having to draw it. I want to make sure that I don't draw it in the corner, so I'm going to cheat the pocket just a little bit. And I leave myself on the 6. I should be able to roll up to the rail and back out. But I also had to reverse the English to hold it, and it slowed way down. I don't know if you can see it, but at the bottom of the table there, you can see there's a ripple there between the first and the second diamond, right below the rack in the rails. My cloth is coming loose. I've got to call into the guy who covered it. He's going to have to come back out and fix this because it's doing that in several places. That's not a good thing. So I do have a call into him to get that fixed. It's making the rails play a little dead. And the same thing is true up at that top corner. Okay, done speeding it up onto the second part of this rack. I shoot the 5 in, I come out. Decent shape. I think I can make the 4 here. I don't like shooting it because it is my break shot right now, but there's a whole rack to go. So right now it's all about breaking this mess out. Alright, roll the 8 slow for the 3 next. Take the 3. Leave myself the 9. Now I've got to be careful because I need to leave an angle on this so that I can get on either the 10 is really where I want to be on. If I can make the 3, leave an angle, shoot the 9, roll up for the 10, and then roll through the rack, that would be a good thing. Not sure what I did here. I might have come all the way around for that 2 ball. The 2 goes in the bottom left corner. I might have gone ahead and gone around here. Looks like I did. Don't know why I did that. That might have been a mistake. But But even so, yeah, so now I'm coming over for the 2. I'm going to use the 2 to move things around a little bit. And I'm going to have to hit this hard because I'm almost straight in. Okay, got a nice little bump. The 7 came loose. I can see the 7 now. Looks like I was a little straight in on that 7. So what do we have here? The 10 might be a break. 13's it's a lousy break, but it's really the best one on the table right now. So what I need to do is shoot this 9 and bust out the cluster at the top. I miss it. So now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to shoot the 13 in and bump these other 3 balls and make them wander around a little. And I missed the 13. Alright, so next rack. I'm pretty pumped up about the 22 I just shot. Not that that's a great score by any means, but it's the best I've had since I came back. And my adrenaline gets me. I send the cue ball all the way up the table. The good news is the 12 comes up the table with me and gives me a way to get back down into where I want to be. So I'm going to shoot this, and the 15 is a break shot, but I've got this 6-ball cluster there that I've got to break out. So I might as well use the 15 to do it. I really don't have a good place right now otherwise. And they spread out really nicely. You got the little line of balls down there at the bottom. The 11-8 is a problem that I'm going to have to deal with, and I got kind of a weird lead here, but I do have plenty of balls, so I've got the 2 up the table. And the way that these are laying, the 13 is my only break shot here. So I've got to leave the 13, and what I'm thinking is that I'll leave the cue ball between the 13 and the 9, shoot the 9 up the table, roll the cue over to the rail on the side, which will give me a break on the rack from the 13. But I'm going to need a pretty good angle to do it. But first, I have to deal with this 11-8. So I play the 4, try to get over there. And where I'm sitting, I think, hey, maybe I can manufacture a break shot out of the 7. If I hit this right, it'll bounce off the rail and come back out next to the rack, and then I don't have to worry about that 13 as a break shot. Well, unfortunately, yeah, so the 7 and the 7 is not frozen to the rail, but the 13 is. And as much as that 7's a decent break shot, but I can't leave it there and get the 13 out. But still, I need to worry about this 11-8. That's the bigger problem. It doesn't matter what I do with those others if I can't deal with the 11-8. So I'm going to play this 10, and I'm planning to get a lead where I can bump the 11 and the 8. I do hit the 9. That was deliberate because it gives me an angle on the 3. I was kind of hoping to bump it out in front of the side pocket so I could use it to move the 13 out of the way. Didn't work out that way. But hey, I got a shot on the 11. Okay. I would love to take the 8 here. I really would. I know it doesn't look like it on camera, but the edge of the 11 has, I can't cut that 8 in from where I am. So I'm going to have to, I wanted to, but I'm going to have to shoot the 14 up the table. Then I'm going to have to use the 5 to get a leave on the 11. There's a hair on the ball, so that's what I'm doing, is I'm holding the ball in place and pulling the hair off of it. It was right where my tip was going to hit. There's a dog hair. You've seen my dog floating around in the videos. Alright, so this worked out pretty much perfect. I've got a shot on the 11. I need to have the cue ball move towards that rail on the left, so I'm going to use top right hand English, cut it in really soft, and hold the cue for the 8. Alright, I'm on the rail, but that's no big deal here. This is not a hard shot. So I shoot the 8, and I roll up, And hey, I bumped the 9 in front of that side pocket, but I don't have the angle to get down on the 13.7. So I decide that I'm going to bump the 9 in, I'm going to play the combination and leave the 13 where the 7 is, about where the 7 is sitting, and let the cue come off the rail so that I have the break where you shoot it in the pocket, come off the rail and break the rack out. And it comes out absolutely perfect. Alright, let's speed through the rack. Alright, so here we go. Time for this break shot. This is a pretty standard break shot. Gonna hit it hard, gonna roll up the table, and then you usually end up with a long shot after that break. There's just not a really good way around it. Okay, but they spread out pretty decent considering. I've got a shot on the 6, which I take. I roll down, and that 12 does not fit between the 14 and the rail, so I'm going to shoot the 11 up the table. And that's where I noticed that the rail is messed up. And that's me just checking the rest of the rails to see where else. Alright, anyhow, so yeah, that's really annoying. When I saw that, I was like, you gotta be kidding. Alright, so I shoot the 11 up the table. A little miffed about the rail thing, but that's okay. Alright, I have a shot here on the 3, and I might have a shot on that 5. I don't think so, though. So I use the 3, and I break the rack way up. Now I've got all kinds of problems at the bottom. But I did make it a second ball. In fact, I made 3 balls there on that break shot. One went in the side on the right, and one went on the bottom left corner, and of course the shot that I made was the bottom left corner. So I did make 3 balls there. I'm going to get this 10 out of the way because that's going to cause me problems trying to do some of this stuff. Alright, I'm thinking about the 212, but I've got other balls, and maybe I can get somewhere and break it out. The 15 is my break ball. So the 9 actually works as a key ball here. I guess I had the 12 straight, so I make the 12 straight. That 2 ball's on my mind, and you'll see why here in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to hit the 9 in. I'm going to roll up the table for the 1 to get a leave on the stuff at the top of the table. And rolled a little bit far. So I'm going to take the 5 instead, and I'm going to go back and forth across the table. Then I'm going to take the 1 and use it to position on the 2. And I want to position on the 2 so that the cue ball is going to land between the 14 and the 7. I know I'm going to bump the 14. That's okay. I just want to make sure that I make this 2. So I'm using bottom right hand English. And what my idea is I'm going to hit the 2 in. I'm going to come off the 14. I'm going to bump the 7. Cue ball's.
All right. So there you have it. Straight pool Sunday. Actually, a really good day. I beat my high run not once but twice. So I'm showing you the racks that are 10 balls or more. There were probably about 10 racks that were 8 and 9 balls. There were half a dozen where I broke and didn't get anything, and there were like 3 where I missed the break shot. So overall, definite improvement. Still climbing on straight pool. Telling you, one of these days soon, I'm going to snap off a big run. It's not that far away. I was really close a couple of times. both on the 22 and the 24 ball runs. Both of those runs could have gone a lot further. I just missed stupid shots. The 24 ball run, I was a little upset with that one. That was the one where I shot the 2, and there was a lot going on with that shot, but I should not have missed it. I actually overcut that ball, and I don't know what happened. I'm gonna look at it in slow motion. It may be that the 14 came off the rail and bumped it up. I don't think so. It should have gotten past the 14 before the 14 came up, but I need to look and see, because that was a thin hit on the 2 and a heavy hit on the 14. I may have just screwed up taking that shot when I did, at the angle that I was at. Anyhow, so that's Straight Pool Sunday for today. Have a great rest of your week. If you like what you saw, hit like, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.